Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with three S's. My name is Chantele Francis, and I am your host, and I'm with my co-host here today. We have
Jojo O'Toole.
Jojo O'Toole, yay! Also known as Casey Becker.
Oh,
mm-hmm.
my alter ego.
Well, if this is your first time on Reality Realness, well then welcome. We are happy to have you. Please feel free to comment in the chat because we love talking to you. And if this is you coming back, well, thank you for joining us again. So we're talking about Sequester Season 4. We're going to do a little bit of a draft pick about this season's players.
Yes.
Just to make it a little bit competitive so we can be rooting for people. And when we come and talk about each episode, we kind of will have like our own angles and our own stakes as to why we like this person or we're rooting for X person or whatnot. So you're down for that, Jojo?
I'm so down. I think it's going to be really difficult just to root for my own picks.
Mm-hmm.
I have a list that pretty much has everyone listed, so
well,
it's going to be tough or easy.
I want to just put out like a mini disclaimer. Like, we love everybody that's playing this game. We are excited to see everybody's game. We're being really hypercritical and like analytical on. We have absolutely no real basis as to who would choose first, second, third, or fourth. So just so you're aware that we're not trying to say anybody's going to be bad or anybody's going to be whatever. Like, we're just kind of going off little tidbits of information and garnering an opinion. And so we don't want anybody to be offended. We just want to just choose our players. This is draft pick. We know it's going to be uneven, so we are going to also decide on having a shared team player. And I kind of have an idea who I want to be the shared player.
Me too.
Who do you think I'm going to say? What?
No, I can't spell. Muna. I'm thinking Muna.
Oh, no, I was going to say Brent as our shared player.
Okay. Don't pick Muna. Shit. Literally all my cards. There you go. Perfect.
Hi, Brazil. Hey. I thought Brent. The reason why I thought Brent would be someone that we could be a shared player. We both kind of know him a little bit. We know that it's going to be like, we'll just talk about his game a little bit before we get to the draft pick. But we know that he is going to be playing hard and playing well or strategically. Like, he's going to be doing a good job in the game. I'm not sure, I could be completely wrong, if he's going to be able to get to the end just because he's so what?
I don't know. I think Brent's like a hot and heavy character player. Yeah. But minis are different than live action, and he might. We don't know. He might be there to make incredible television, but also know like I also want to win this game. I also need to play it smart. So I think so much is going to depend on our first episode.
Say it again?
I think so much is going to depend on our first episode and what we see. The initial like slash in the throats.
Right. Well, so what Brett was saying, like, he's 45 years old. He's a casino dealer. Obviously, we know him from Rob as a podcast and live feed correspondent, and he's a really big fan of Sequester. And so I think he's going to do a good job as being a fan favorite. I think he's going to be good TV. He's such a big supporter. And so I just want to have him on my team. And I know you probably do as well. You know what I
mean? Easy choice. I think he's like,
no matter what.
I think he's like a Sequester cheerleader. He's polarizing. He has many opinions, but I love that he was smart enough to realize long ago that he was going to be cast in season 4. So he kind of played this summer. He knew how to play the minis and commenting on them to his advantage. None of that's bullshit. Like he's pretty straightforward, clearly.
One thing that's good too is that his game is out in the open. You kind of know what style he is, that he can be vocal, he can be cutthroat, but he also can be loyal. And so I think that with having his game so open, he can go in with a completely different strategy and use the knowledge that he knows people have of him to his game strategy. And so I think that he's in a really good position with coming in and surprising the other players. I still don't know if he can get to the end and win, though. There's something about like him being just a juicy target. You know what I mean? Like he's just so well known. Like people just might want to just get him. So I'm worried about that.
I got him so fast.
right? I'm
I'd be
worried.
like, out, get him out, not to his face. all behind closed doors, literally. But I love that he's developed his listening skills. I think that's brilliant because
Mhm.
I think Brent is an incredibly well-rounded player. He knows how to speak clearly, and that's really dangerous. So to throw in the listening aspect, that's special.
Yeah, I think he's a very good player, but I'm worried that his threat level is too high for him to be able to get all the way. But like, I'm rooting for him 100% to get there. So like, I'm rooting for him too to get there as well. Phil says, I think Brett will play great for will play for a great show, but don't think that he'll make it to the end. Big mistake if they let him get to the end. He is a smart cookie. Absolutely. He definitely, as obviously from talking about different game strategies and players and all these years on Rob as a podcast, he definitely understands how to craft his story and craft his, so people can see his moves and why he did things. And so if he gets to the final two, I think he has a very, very, very good chance of winning because he's very articulate, I find. And I think that he's not afraid of, we're always talking about like, own your moves, own your moves. I think he would own his moves. And if he got to the end, I think he would win. But I don't think that people will let him get there, though.
I think storytelling is a really important aspect of Sequester, and it's something that a lot of players do put stock into, especially at the end. Having a story to tell at Final Two is captivating, and it might shift one vote away from someone else onto you if you have a really good story. I think, I think he's going to be a big talkative target, but if anybody can do it, Brent can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And he actually did say that he's going to own his shit. So that's good. Like, I like that. You like that. The viewers are going to like that, I think. And so, and I also like playing with people like that because I'm not into the sneaky. You know what I mean? I don't like that. He's just out in the front. You know what you're going to get with him most likely. I know you're so sneaky.
He's stabbing
He's working with me.
Yeah, luckily.
Phew. So anything about Brent else about Brent's game that you want to share?
I mean, he's also an army vet, so I do think even at 45 years old, he's fully capable of kicking some ass. So I think with the battle matches, that's going to be a really different element for 12 of these players.
And I wonder if that's what inspired him getting a little shredded. I saw some pics on, I think it was Twitter maybe or Instagram.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay.
Like all cut and he lost some weight.
That's just a thirsty moment in time.
But I'm wondering if he did that though, like started losing weight because he knew he was going to be on Sequester and that he might have to compete with some of these, 21-year-olds or whatever.
Yeah, 22. I'm like, there's a baby playing.
Babies.
Child.
My babies. Almost half my age. Not even playing. Yeah, so Brent needs the money though. So with Brent needing the money, this is what he said when he was talking with Taryn. So with him needing money, I think that the drive for winning is higher than just playing a Sequester mini where you can just be like, yes, I'm going to do all these crazy moves because it's just kind of fun just to see what happens. And if he loses, at least he played hard. And so I will be interested to seeing how he morphs his game a little bit with the money looming over the game. And so I want to see him tone down a little bit of this strategy and turn up this strategy. I'm excited.
I really wanted to count how many times during Taryn's interviews people said adapt. Holy shit! Everyone's adapt.
To-dos. It's true though, but a little bit of an article, but it's true. So next, okay, so I'll let you go first.
Oh, I was going to let you go first.
Well, I said it first.
Fine. You little sweetheart. I'm picking Muna 1,000%.
Oh!
A bazillion %.
Okay, of course you are. More.
I mean, even Tara knew who she was right away. I love that Muna's young. She's 22, but she's a paralegal. She's an international spoken word poet. Girl is charming, stunning to look at.
So beautiful. Wow.
Beautiful, out of control. that light was hitting
her
her.
face, I'm like, on this, I'm like, wow, man.
I turned up my brightness watching the interview. I'm like, oh my God, I got to see everything. I love that she's grown a lot during COVID. That's going to come with being young in general. And she knows what change is. Instead of using like words like adapt, she knew that change and shifting perception and her positioning in the game is smart. One round you're allies, the next round you're not. The next round you're collaborating yet again. I think she does put her cards on the table, and she will be seen as a threat for sure. She's got a lot of experience and knows how to play a solid game. But I think people are definitely going to want to work with her. And Muna's another one. Like, cut right away, get her out.
I don't think they would though.
They're not going to, which is her. But
I think she's a great pick. She's definitely going to be my number one pick if I was going first, or if you had gone how I thought you were going to go. So I'm going to do what I thought you were going to do.
Oh no,
that's coming up.
no.
But so one thing that I really liked about hearing Muna's talk about her strategy in her game, it sounds a little bit similar to me and how I like to play. And so I was like, oh, I like you, Muna. Like, obviously, like, stroke my ego here. But so she was saying that she likes to root for people that she would want to play with. And I've said that on many podcasts that, like, that's one of the reasons why I don't like, we'll say, Nicole Franzel, because I wouldn't want to play the game with her. And so she kind of had a similar thought to me as that. I'm like, okay, so if she's looking for people that she gravitates toward, that she likes, that, you know, gets along with her, like, that's how I play as well. And so I liked when she was saying that. She says a game is core for her vote, but she could get bitter, and she thought that it would always be game, but like she could be bitter sometimes. And like me too, like I say game, but like also remember that part of the game is not pissing me off and making me want to give you my vote, right? Still a little bit of part of it. That's actually overall, that was one thing that everybody was saying, a lot of people were saying that I didn't agree with personally, that like, oh, I'm not gonna be bitter. Like it's you're a bad game player if you're bitter. And I think though that is completely, that's not right, because if you were a good game player, you wouldn't leave anybody bitter, right? Like I think that everybody was like, oh my God, good move. Like, yes, you got me. Like, thank you. Like, what?
Good job.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think it's part of the game. I think having the jury want to vote for you is part of the game.
Totally.
And I don't think necessarily that being super snaky and nasty to people is warranted all the time for being the best game player. So, what do you think about that in general?
Yeah, I think if you make incredible moves and you're an asshole, and the person sitting next to you in the final two isn't the best player or hasn't had enough to show off, I still think you can suck up a win somehow.
Russell hands?
Sorry?
Russell hands?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're an asshole, I don't really want to vote for an asshole, but if you played an incredible game, I might give it to you.
You would vote for Russell hands?
Oh, Russell? No, God.
His game was pretty good, but it was just like not a game that I wanted to support.
No, God, no, not even a little bit.
Who are you?
Who am I? No, there's no way I'd vote for Russell. Absolutely not.
So
but I also don't think he's the best player from his season because he made people feel a certain way.
That's kind of what my point is, though, is that like I think that if you're going to be making these cutthroat moves, there has to be a way to do it, in my opinion, that doesn't leave the person that's affected by it pissed off and kind of heartbroken. Like whether it could be as little as before the vote is revealed, turning to them and saying, "I'm sorry, I had to do this for my game."
Yeah,
that could be enough, right?
Sure. Yep.
Just like that little warning that they're not just like egg in the face, like look like an idiot, like trusted someone that completely stabbed them in the back. Like it might hurt still, but like I feel like there's the forgiveness might come in more soon, that they were considerate enough to like let them know beforehand. Just like things like that maybe could help.
I mean, with the LOSs in play, I don't really want to tell everybody what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm playing Sequester. But
Sure,
I
sure.
know what you're saying for sure. Yeah, there's a way to stab someone in the front instead of the back. Or if
Mhm.
you stab someone in the back, you hold them and you guide them down. You kiss their cheek and rub it and warm their hands, close their eyes for them.
And I haven't seen Muna play that many games, but you have.
Oh, yes.
And she's good at this, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
people still usually want to vote for her, even if she was part of their execution.
Yeah, I mean, she's incredibly passionate and she explains her game well if she gets to the end. So she's impressive. Yeah, an all-star for sure. Can't wait to see her play.
So I know she won once and she came sixth twice, and she
Yes.
came second once. Who did she lose against?
She lost to two other queens, Sharifa and Jalen.
Oh, was it
Slay.
three?
No, it was Shadows. So there was two partners. There was a partner final two. So there was a kind of a final four at final two.
Oh, gotcha. Who was her partner?
Muno was with Albie, who was another Sequester superstar.
Ooh, superstar. So that
So
was.
I was surprised not to see. We can chat about that later, but I was surprised not to see him in season 4 for sure.
I don't know who that is. So, but I
Albie,
haven't seen any.
Albie and Brent were both mods in my first Sequester game, so I kind of had I have a soft spot for both.
Gotcha. So yeah, so Muna does use the word change. She needs to change with the game and adapt.
Yeah,
That's,
and be what you want to see in the world. And I loved when she said that. I think she's incredible.
and I like that she wants to see somebody that's passionate at the end, right? If you don't really seem to care, like, I don't really care to give you my vote, regardless of how good your game is. Like, I want to see the want to win as well.
I think we're going to see that with all 13 people. I hope so, but I have a feeling that we will. I think it's going to be a kick-ass cast.
I definitely think this season's going to be good. Do you have any other thoughts about Muna's game before I go to my first pick?
I can't wait for the first episode. I think she can play it any way. Yeah, I think she's a smarty. She knows what she's doing.
And also, though, lastly, with her game like being out in front, like she's already very likable, and I think people will want to play with her. And so she can't get in too far, or she's gonna win. Like, she could win really, really easily.
Yeah.
But I think that she definitely will. I don't think she's gonna be the first boot at all. I don't think so.
Oh, no. If she was, my laptop's out the window.
I'm closing this, and it's over.
Done. No more actually.
So, since you took Muna from me,
Don't do it.
I'm taking Katie from you.
No.
You told me how you love Katie and her game, and I did like listening to her when she was talking with Taryn. She says that she's a jack of all trades, master of none, but on her bio it says that she's an outdoor coordinator. I'm not sure what that even means. I don't know. Is that like rope climbing, like and zip lining? I don't know what outdoor coordinator means.
I think she's a jack of all trades, a Joe of all.
But she has
a camp counselor as well.
that sounds like an outdoor person,
Yeah.
coordinator. So she's one person that definitely says adaptability is going to be something that she's going to be using. She's a fan of Survivor and all the other of our favorite shows. She won 619 of Sequester. She's played a few more. So she played Heroes versus Villains. She's played a couple of Private that was 5-8 versus 619. And she also played Winners at War. So she hasn't been able to win again. But I do think that she has learned a lot from how she won the first time around and why she didn't win the other games. And so I think that having those other experiences are going to be really good for her. That instead of just like playing once and winning and then coming and playing this game again, I wouldn't think that she'd have a shot. But the fact that she's done not as well, she's had to be like, oh, okay, this doesn't work. Oh, like now they know what I'm like. Oh, I got to change this. And so go ahead.
Yeah, I think she's really learned how to play as a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Katie, when she came out that night and won, it was mind-blowing. People were losing their minds. New favorite player. Her status was off the charts. And yeah, she leans into playing like a villain game, but is also incredibly charming and warm and thoughtful and can be a good friend and a good ally. And then perfect.
I love that she said that she leans into the villain, because I was thinking like, okay, for me, what do I lean into? I'm like, I'm a freaking hero, even though I'd love to say that I was a villain, but I'm a hero.
You are. First hero.
Are you a hero or a villain, Jojo?
How dare you?
You're a villain. I know you're a villain.
How dare you ask me in a public setting? I think I'm naughty and nice. That is how I would describe my. Yes.
All right. So what else I want to say about her? She says that she hopes that her bubbly personality is going to shine through, and she wants to play kind of like poverty. And so I think that she is capable of playing like poverty. It's one of her favorite, I guess, her favorite female survivors. And I love her poverty as well. And so I can see if that's kind of the angle that she's playing, I think that it's effective. From the men that I've seen on this cast so far, I'm not sure if all of them are straight males or not, but I feel as though they're going to want to work with her, because she's gorgeous, obviously, but she seems like she gets along with guys as well. And so I think she'll be good with the girls and good with the guys. And I think she's going to be in a really good position. A lot of people mentioned Tori from last season, and I think that she's might play a little bit like Tori, but with a little bit more finesse, is my opinion.
I love Tori. I think Tori and Katie both would be incredible on Survivor.
That's
1,000%.
Well, maybe they will.
Maybe they will. Katie's got she's got a reputation, and that can be a pro or con. I think, I don't know. I'm dying to see the first episode. I want to see who she's yelling at. The preview really messed with me a little. I wish I didn't see the preview.
Oh, well, we're going to watch it again after this with sound. Since last time, I didn't realize, I forgot that I put on headphones. Sorry.
I'm like breaking lips. I'm like,
and Jojo was like reacting to things and like whatever. So I thought that like it didn't trigger that he couldn't hear it. And then I was like watching it back, and I was like, Jojo, why didn't you tell me? He's like, I don't know, I'm just playing off of you. And I was like,
I'm adapting.
I will play it again for you guys at the end of this little draftaroo. So she says she's worried that people will think that she's easy to beat in a battle match, but she's hoping that she goes in one early that's suitable to her skill set to make people afraid of her. And I think that's a pretty good strategy, but I also would just think maybe she just try to avoid them altogether. But I would prefer to go in early and win and come back and then just be left alone for the rest of the game. So I hear where she's coming from, for sure.
Totally.
And she says she knows she can talk her way to a win. And so I like that as well. I like people that know how to articulate their gameplay and can sit there and share that with the people that they play with. And I think that is how you can avoid having a bitter jury, is by how you address them and show what you did, why you did that. It can make people a little bit more comfortable with giving you their vote, especially if they're annoyed with you or pissed off that you just stab them in the back or the front or wherever. So that's my pick. Sorry. Let's go boy, girl, just then, so we don't, we can make it even that way.
Am I next?
Yes, you. Oh, wait, no, I'm next.
You are next. Also, my phone just went to 20%. I don't know how that happened.
I hate your phone. Okay, we'll do it. We'll just speed through it.
Fine.
Okay, so my first boy pick will be. I'm just gonna go for the hunky, Brendan Smith.
Good choice.
Okay, that's not who you wanted, huh?
I definitely wanted Brendan.
Okay, so he's a fan of Sequester. He's played a few minis. He's won one with a unanimous vote, which is impressive. He's attractive. I think he's likable. I don't think that he comes off as somebody that's a big threat, even though he's a winner. I still, like, even me watching him right now, I'm like, I don't think that, like, I'd go for, like, be targeting him first. Like, he doesn't come off as a super threatening player. So I think that being able to unarm the people that he's playing with, including the audience, like myself, I think is going to be really good for his strategy. He's afraid mostly of, like, the highest even and the highest odd, like those weird twists. Like, that's kind of the ones that he doesn't feel like he can maneuver around as easily. But one thing that concerned me is that he doesn't want to necessarily go in with a strategy because he wants to be adaptable. But I think that there needs to be a little bit of a strategy going in. It's like maybe like, oh, I'm going to make sure I find 2 people to play with, or 2 people that I trust, or whatever, 2 people at other ends. Like you can't really go in cold, I think. What do you think about going in with no strategy?
I think he has a strategy built in. I think they all do. You do generally want to find someone that you can trust, or a trio. I love when Katie said that she'd bring it back to Katie for a second. I love when she said, I like playing with trios instead of duos. I totally agree with that. The more people have your back, the better. I think his confidence physically and mentally is really important to his gameplay and how he plays. I think Brendan's going to kick some butt. Mm-hmm. And it all depends on who he's playing with. Like he said, it's really like these assessments. I can go on and on about everyone saying incredible things, but it's really going to depend on what the first twist is, who throws who under the bus first.
He did say that he will promise the world but give nothing. So I think that that's great because like just keep those promises coming because maybe you don't have to own up to them because they'll be out of the game, you know? Like so.
Sorry.
Yeah, I promise. So I like that he's willing to do that, or at least say that he's going to do that. Humbled and blessed to be there. I like that. He says he won't be bitter. Okay. Like you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, he wants to hear what he wants to hear from the like person in the jury how they are you 10%? I don't know who this person is.
What's happening?
Why do you have that phone?
I just got it fixed and now it's
go to your pick.
Okay, my pick is Jacob.
Because then maybe we'll just do these 4 and then we'll come back. We're gonna come back in an hour.
I can go. Do you want me to go charge it?
Like I just need 20 minutes from 4 to 4:20, and then we can come back for part 2. And can you stay indoors
pause
or on your laptop?
I could, yeah. I don't want to.
Okay. So Brendan, and then we'll see how much time we have.
I'm picking Jacob.
Jacob.
Yeah, 2-time mini winner, incredibly charming, gorgeous.
That's true. I didn't see him on Terrence.
Good. Oh, he's at the end. I think he was the final interview.
Oh yeah, because like I remember someone was talking about him being the final 2. Anyways, and I was like, and I didn't see his video interview. Okay, sorry. Well, that's a good pick.
I love that he said that he's scrawny, and that doesn't mean that he's weak, because I am also a member of that scrawny club of people who don't consider themselves weak. I think Jacob's a well-rounded player, and I think he's got a brain and a smile and knows how to use both. And a big old heart.
I mean, I don't know him that well, obviously. I've liked what I've seen about him. He seems to be a good game player. People seem to like him. People want to work with him. People want to give him the win. So I think those are all really good qualities in a player. And I think that he's going to definitely be able to get along with a lot of people. Who do you think that he's going to maybe team up with?
Anyone. Marcelo played together in a mini, so I think they will team up most likely. I think Muna might hook up. I don't know. I feel like they could all play with each other. I do think there's players that know how to do that. So it's going to depend on the circumstances, what room people are in, who's listening to who's sleeping in the same bed with who.
Ooh.
Lots of.
Anyway, he who you lay with is Davon. Yeah. Is that the line? Is that him who you lay? What did she say? Do you remember that line Davon said? No. I'll find it out in 20 minutes when we come back to podcast. How much time do you have, or how much battery?
I can't even tell. If I take this, I'm scared to close it.
Don't touch it. Oh, there he goes. Okay.
Oh, no. I'm here. I tried to check the percentage.
Don't try to check the percentage. So do you want to just do your last girl, and then I'll do a girl after you, and then we'll come back with me doing a male pick?
Okay, I'm gonna pick Billy.
Nice.
Yeah, I think she's. I love that she mentioned being prepared this time. I've seen her play. I think I saw her play Blood versus Water with her brother, who I also love. Um, she's got a great energy. She's incredibly talented. She's really creative. Um, she's passionate. And she made a point of saying that emotions won't cloud her judgment. And I think that's a great player, knowing when to cut out those emotions, but also like being warm and open and fluid. Um, and I think being prepared this time is going to help her. So she's ready to say some names. I want to hear them. Billy.
Mm-hmm. So she's a CEO. I don't know of what though. No, CEO rapper. Sorry, and she's a music engineer, and she sells cars. So I like that she's like, I like kind of her vibe. I like that she's probably a little bit of like a hustler in the sense that like she sells cars to people, and that means that she's gonna have kind of the gift of unarming people in the sense, making people like them, make people want to do what she wants and stuff like that. So I think that's a really good finesse that she's gonna be able to have, and a good shimmer. You know what I mean? Like I think that she's not gonna come off threatening. I think that people are going to like her, and then they're gonna. I think that they're gonna want to work with her. So yeah, feels prepared. She was born ready, she says, and her first time she played, she came in second, which is a really good showing. But it also shows that what she needed to do the next time to get the win, and that's learning how to articulate her game. And so I think what she's learned is going to be really useful because I think that she can get to the end. But winning is the hard part now for her, and if she's really learned how to say like, this is what I did, this is why I did it, I think that she could take the W. And she also said she was shy the first time. She didn't come across shy in this interview with Taryn, so I liked seeing her personality, and she seems like she'd be fun and a little bit gregarious. And so in the house with all these people, I think that she's going to get along with them, and people are going to like being around her. And I feel like she's going to be part of the energy of the season.
Yeah. I hope so.
Yeah, she's gonna make her own rules. She wants a Final Four early, which is smart.
Yeah.
And she is not gonna let anybody stab her in the back because she's willing to do whatever it takes. So that's cool. I think these are all good qualities to have in a player that's gonna do well. Great pick.
Thanks.
I don't remember who that is right now.
Who?
I don't know. Okay, sorry. No, not yet. I don't remember these people right now. Is that bad?
Do you need a break?
Maybe. No, I don't need a break. Is your phone going to die right now?
I can't tell. It's a mystery.
I'm picking a girl, right? Yes.
Yeah. You can pick Rachel, Natalie, or Shireen.
Oh, I'm going to take Shireen. Sorry. I'm going to take Shireen. Shireen, she's a big person. Well, she's a very out in front of you personality from what I can see. Yeah. She really loves the game. She loves social strategy. She claims like she feels that she's part of the nerd side. So if there tends to be like cool kids versus nerds, I think she'll be like the leader of the nerds. And I think that's going to be a good position for her to be in. I don't feel that she could take a backseat. I feel like she's always very forward and usually gets her agendas to be met. And so I'm hoping that will be good for her and that people won't want to take her out because of it. Yeah. But I think that she does have a very good possibility to do very well.
I 1,000% agree. I love that she said she was in a good place in her life. I think that's really I've watched her play twice. I loved her in the Middle Eastern mini, and she was great in the International Survivor. Room 5 forever, cute. I love that she like was. It made me laugh though because she's like, "Oh, I didn't pregame for international, but here are all the pregames that I did for international."
I know, right?
You didn't, but I loved that she's really prepared with like the LOS fabric sewing.
Right,
brilliant. Love that she's preparing herself for the unknown.
And I think that she'll have people like she's going to be the biggest threat there, and so biggest personality person that people know for sure. She's going to be the biggest one, like the biggest, we'll say, superstar in the competitive reality gaming world, and so I feel that I would want to keep her there because she's always going to be in front of me as this big shiny target.
Sure. And if she's working with you, even better.
Exactly.
I do think she's a loyal player.
With all the other bigger targets, like the Brents, even the Munas, and her. Who else is a super big target? Maybe Katie. Like that could be a pretty dominant foursome that kind of, hey, we need each other to stay here because as soon as we start getting rid of all these big threats, maybe even Brendan coming in there, maybe they can dominate the threats, super threats.
Super threats.
Super threats, super nerds.
Cute. Super cuts.
Super cuts. Okay, so that is going to be part A, or part one.
Part A.
Sequester cast draft picks cast assessment. We will come back in about 45 minutes for part 2, so Jojo can charge his phone. Thank you for hanging out with us for this first half an hour. Make sure if you haven't done so already, please subscribe over there. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. Follow Jojo, follow me. Talk to us about Sequester. We love it. We can't wait to come back to you in about 45 minutes with some more Sequester chats. All right, Jojo, get to charging. Bye.
Bye.